Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased and honored, I'm very pleased and honored today to welcome you on behalf of my family to State House. To welcome you in a night of reflection using two of the most important gifts that our ancestors left with us. The gift of culture and the gift of food. Both gifts we enjoy tremendously in Guyana. But those gifts came with a very high cost. Those gifts allow us to understand that we are part of one family, the family of humanity. And every time you come to State House, every time you embrace us in the government, you are embracing an idea and you're embracing a willingness to join us together in the building of a one Guyana in which all our people will live and enjoy prosperity and grow together in unity. That Guyana is essential for the success of all our people. That Guyana is essential in honoring the hard work, the sacrifices, and the lives, the many lives that we lost in the journey to freedom. Emancipation was not an event. It is not only about a victory. It was a movement. And that movement brought together people. People united in a singular cause. A cause in which they saw dignity and freedom for all of humanity as the most paramount of virtue. It was never a selfish cause. And tonight I speak with you, not at you. And I speak to myself in reflection. I speak to every single leader that embraced the family of humanity. I spoke at every single international forum, and I've outlined our position very clearly. The dignity and honor of those who fought for freedom must never ever be taken lightly. The movement was not a movement against slavery. It was a movement much larger than that. It was a movement that identified the fact that humanity is one collective whole. And there is no fraction or fact or division that separates us as a family of humanity. Anything that worked to separate us is an invention of man and not a direction of God. If you're religious or you're spiritual and you go to every single text that you consult for moral and spiritual upliftment, you will see this fact clearly outlined. It is those of us who seek to fracture the family of humanity using different models and modes that are not doing justice to the family of humanity and the ultimate sacrifices those made in removing slavery and removing hardship and allowing freedom to come to the world. It was not only freedom for the Africans. No, no, no. Let us understand that this freedom was much larger. This freedom that we're speaking of was a freedom that sought to uplift humanity. It was a freedom that led to a certain degree of confidence. It led to people aspiring to be better. It led to an understanding of those people that we can be as good as those who felt they're superior. So the freedom was much richer because it unlocked the chains that kept many persons in the family of humanity from aspiring, from the confidence that is so critical when you aspire to realize your full potential. It was a freedom that was so deep. It was a sacrifice that was so deep. It was a struggle that was so deep that it brought about religious freedom also. It was this freedom that led every single man, whether you're African or you're any other group, to realize that you too can be the leaders of church. You too can be inspiration for people in a moral and religious sphere. This freedom is much richer. It was this freedom that led to social transformation. It is this freedom that gave us hope. It is this freedom that gave an identity and remove indignity. It is this freedom that rose us up and give us the self-confidence today that we can dress. We can dress in the attire of those ancestors who came before. And we can do so proudly. It is that freedom that allows us to enjoy what we are enjoying today. Communion with each other. Communion in the family of humanity. It is that freedom that will lift us as a family of humanity in communion together. No, we must never minimize. We must never minimize the struggle by restricting it only to our African brothers and sisters. That will be doing them an injustice. The freedom that they fought for was the freedom for all of humanity. Yes, our African brothers and sisters and ancestors paid dearly with their lives. The harshness of what they went through can never be overstated. But the dignity of the struggle, the broadness and wideness of the struggle was for the dignity of all of humanity. When the late President Mandela recognized the struggles of the late President Cheddi Jagan and all our other leaders, it is because they were part of a singular movement that understood the true meaning of freedom and what comes with freedom. It is this freedom that was so endearing that it laid the platform for every society to act and work freely. My brother Eric mentioned the clearing of lands. It was not just a freedom to get out of bondage. It was a freedom that sought to be integrated into the economic and social collective network of advancing life and nationhood. Yes, the freedom was much larger. It was a freedom that allows society to act freely. And it is that freedom that is evolving around the world. Many still do not have that freedom. Many still are subject to the atrocity of others. But the freedom and the struggle laid the platform for us to understand that with commitment, that with dedication to a cause, there is an ultimate end that can lead to freedom. Today we must honor the sacrifice by resisting any attempt to alter the fullness of the freedom they struggled for. Whether it's here in Guyana, the Caribbean, or elsewhere in the world, we have to honor that struggle in the fullness of the struggle. Today, we must respect that sacrifice by resisting racism, denouncing hate, and embracing human dignity. We must affirm the oneness of our humanity. And in Guyana, we are working, and I am telling you, with deep conviction that the cause is just, and win we must, in building the oneness of the humanity, in creating the one Guyana that will uplift us all together and lead us all to a better life together. This struggle is an evolving struggle, but this struggle has different form and different shape. This struggle underpins the importance and the power of democracy, rule of law, and the upliftment of all the people. We will do a great injustice to those who fought so hard for the freedom we enjoy if we believe we can work in an undemocratic environment, if we believe that the rule of law does not exist. Then the upliftment of people will not occur, because the foundation and the platform that support the upliftment must be there. We must honor their struggle by all embracing to this. Emancipation laid the foundation. It was the ultimate sacrifice. And in honor of those that lost their lives and the sacrifice they made to make us this beautiful land, I ask you to stand and let us reflect in prayer in 1 minute of silence for those souls that we lost on this journey to freedom. Thank you. Please be seated. My dear brothers and sisters, how do we use this freedom? How do we protect this freedom? I urge all of us, including myself, every single leader in this country, I urge you, do not misuse this freedom that was won through blood and sweat and tears and the loss of lives. Do not misplace this freedom. Use it to help others. Freedom can never have double standards. Freedom is something that can never have double standards. We must be committed to it. We must love it. We must feel it. The pain of others must be the pain of ourselves. I say to all of us, do not ascribe powers unto yourselves to diminish that freedom. None of us have the power to ever try to diminish that freedom. Do not ascribe unto ourselves the power and control over those who are heirs to that freedom. No. That will be doing a great injustice to the freedom. Do not use and ascribe powers through ideology and falsehood and misrepresentation to do an injustice to that freedom that was so hard fought for. Guard the freedom with honor and dignity, with respect, with the core values that makes us equal in the eyes of God. Guard that freedom with honor and dignity and respect. The values that makes us equal as humanity, not in the eyes of the president or in the eyes of any other leader, but my principle is doing it in the eyes of God. What are the values in the eyes of God? Are we children of one family? If we are children of the singular family of humanity, what is that family? Is that family a white family, a black family, an Indian family, an Amerindian family, a Portuguese family? No. Those are the beauty of the one collective family of humanity. From the time we try to separate the family of humanity, we will try to build different standards on which the separation should be upheld. No. No. If we are children of the one family, that has to be the singular family of humanity. Who are the custodians of this family? Each one of us. We are each an equal custodian of the family of humanity. And it is how we interpret our responsibility to the family of humanity that will allow us to be good custodian of this family. I want to welcome you tonight in the family of humanity. I want to welcome you tonight in the oneness of Guyana. I want to say to you tonight, let the pain, the sorrow, the sacrifices, but the victory of our ancestors be the platform through which we advance the cause of this beautiful country. Hand in hand, together, honoring each other in dignity and respect. Let us take Guyana forward as one Guyana. God bless all of you.